Huff went missing for a week earlier this month before she was found dead in a nearby conservation area. Law enforcement says she was beaten and shot before her body was dumped. 4 adult suspects are charged in connection to Kayla's death, along with 1 juvenile.
Police believe 5 people were involved in her murder, including a scheme to cause her car to break down. Kayla went missing on May 6 near Moberly, Missouri. That's between St. Louis and Kansas City. After a week of searching, her body was found in a wooded area in Randolph County.
Today, we shine light on Kayla Rose Huff. Kayla Rose Huff was born on October 22, 2009 in Columbia, Missouri, and spent her childhood in Moberly, about 2.5 hours east of Kansas City. Kayla grew up in a close-knit family with her parents, Michael and Renee, along with her sister Christina and her brother Joseph. She was a sophomore at Moberly High School, where teachers described her as a bright, well-rounded student with a promising future. Outside of the classroom, Kayla loved sports. She played on the girls' varsity basketball team and ran track and field. Balancing school and athletics, she also worked at the local Taco Bell, where her co-workers remembered her for her positive attitude, her reliability, and her eagerness to help others. Faith also played an important role in Kayla's life. She was active in the church's youth group and especially enjoyed spending time with and mentoring the younger children. She loved quality time with her family and friends, and they remembered her radiant smile, warm hugs, and contagious sense of humor. To those who knew her best, Kayla had a special way of brightening up every day. Kayla was a beloved daughter, a cherished sister, and a friend whose kindness left a lasting impression on everyone she met. At just 16 years old, Kayla was embracing life to the fullest. During this time, Kayla had also been dating a 17-year-old boy from her hometown. Because he is a juvenile, authorities have not publicly released his name or identity. Throughout their relationship, Kayla became acquainted with members of his family, which included his 20-year-old half-sister Elena Mason. Tension had reportedly developed between Kayla and the individuals in the days leading up to her disappearance. Some local reports and allegations from people in their hometown was that the tension began when Kayla allegedly discovered that her boyfriend and his half-sister Elena were involved in an inappropriate relationship, and they felt that she would soon expose them. However, this has not been confirmed. Investigators have not publicly disclosed what caused the tension and state they still have not found a clear motive. But what is known is that the tension ultimately led Elena Mason, along with several others, to carefully plan and carry out a crime against Kayla. According to investigators, at approximately 3 a.m. on Tuesday, May 5, 2026, 26-year-old Julian Mason, Elena's older brother, drove Elena and her 23-year-old friend, Christopher Hull, to Kayla's residence. Investigators stated that Elena and Christopher then sabotaged Kayla's vehicle by pouring motor oil into the fuel tank. On the morning of Wednesday, May 6, 2026, Kayla left home as she normally would, but just a short distance from her home, her vehicle stalled near the First Assembly of God Church in Moberly. Surveillance footage would later show Kayla and her 17-year-old boyfriend walking together along the road at around 10:18 a.m., giving investigators one of the last confirmed sightings of Kayla before she went missing. According to court documents, investigators believe the remaining suspects had been following Kayla's vehicle, waiting for it to break down. They alleged that shortly after the footage was captured, the group intercepted and forced Kayla into the trunk of a white Chevrolet Impala and drove off. As the days wore on and Kayla failed to return home or contact her family, concern quickly turned into fear. According to those who knew her, staying out all day without telling anyone was completely out of character. Realizing something was terribly wrong, her family reported her missing. The search for Kayla began quickly.
Hundreds of people searched the area on foot and horseback. The Huff family says her car was abandoned in front of the Assembly of God Church in Moberly.
So we're here day and night searching with volunteers, with drones, with anything we can to do to try to help find her.
For investigators, the discovery of the vehicle provided an important starting point. But despite an extensive search effort, there was still no sign of Kayla. As the hours passed, hope slowly gave way to growing concern. What had begun as a missing persons case was rapidly becoming something far more troubling. Investigators quickly began assembling a timeline using surveillance footage, digital evidence, and information provided by individuals connected to the suspects. According to court documents, several critical mistakes made by those involved would ultimately help investigators piece together what happened. One of the earliest breakthroughs came later that same day on May 6. At approximately 12:25 p.m., just hours after Kayla's disappearance, Elena called an acquaintance and described how she and her accomplices had thrown someone in a trunk, dragged them into the woods, and shot them. After learning that Kayla had been reported missing and realizing what Elena said could be true, the acquaintance contacted law enforcement. Investigators later stated that Elena allegedly made similar statements to multiple people. The following day, on May 7th, a Randolph County Sheriff's lieutenant located Elena. According to court records, Elena was handcuffed and detained for questioning. She was then placed in the front passenger seat of the patrol vehicle. When the deputy stepped away, Elena maneuvered her hands to the front of her, climbed into the driver's seat, and sped off in the deputy's car. Authorities launched an intensive manhunt that lasted several hours. Elena was located at the residence where her friend, 24-year-old Skylar Powell, was staying. After refusing multiple commands to surrender, Elena was eventually taken into custody.
Prosecutors have also charged a Moberly woman after she allegedly stole a patrol car. 20-year-old Elena Mason was first detained last Thursday for an investigation in Moberly. That's when she allegedly stole a Randolph County Sheriff's Office patrol car and ran from police. Law enforcement later found Mason hiding in a residence with damaged handcuffs. Court documents say Mason stole the patrol car Thursday and drove away from police after being left in the passenger seat while handcuffed. At the time of the incident, there were multiple firearms in the vehicle.
Investigators stated that Skylar not only assisted Elena with hiding, but also used tools to help cut the chain connecting her handcuffs. Skylar Powell was later arrested.
Skylar Powell is charged with hindering a prosecution for helping Elena Mason get away from law enforcement.
When questioned, Elena denied any involvement in the disappearance of Kayla. Then, after being booked into jail, Elena reportedly developed a severe blistering rash and told jail staff she had gotten it from being in the woods. Investigators considered this significant due to the information they had already received. They documented this detail, noting that the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area was heavily wooded and contained extensive poison ivy. Meanwhile, according to court records, on May 11th, investigators searched Christopher Hull's residence. During the search, they observed a metal baton, but did not confiscate it because its significance was not known yet. In a panic, Christopher, Hunter, and Julian drove to a rural area and discarded it. As investigators continued reviewing collected evidence, the case rapidly gained momentum. With surveillance footage from nearby locations, investigators tracked the movements of several suspects, including footage that showed Elena arriving at her friend, 19-year-old Hunter Ames' residence shortly after Kayla's abduction. On Wednesday, May 13th, the Randolph County prosecuting attorney announced they had made several arrests.
In the case of missing Moberly teenager Kayla Huff today, 3 people are now in custody and charged for kidnapping in connection to her disappearance. The suspects are now in the Randolph County Jail. They are 20-year-old Elena Mason, 23-year-old Christopher Hull, and 19-year-old Hunter Ames. Court documents allege Hull and Mason kidnapped Huff on May 6th. 16-year-old Huff is still missing. Search crews have been scouring about 3,500 acres inside the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area since last Thursday.
Randolph County Sheriff's Office and Moberly Police Department arrested a 17-year-old today in connection to 16-year-old Kayla Huff, who went missing on Wednesday. Officials say Huff remains missing and search efforts are still ongoing.
Then, later that same evening of May 13th, the week-long search for Kayla came to a heartbreaking end.
Again, with breaking news, authorities in Randolph County say the body of missing teenager Kayla Huff has been found. We're learning more about how she was found, plus details on another suspect who's been charged in her disappearance. Kayla Huff is the 16-year-old who was reported missing last week. Around 3 o'clock this morning, Randolph County Sheriff Andy Boggs released a statement confirming her body was found. The search for her lasted just over a week. Her mother reported her missing back on May 6th, after Kayla's car was found abandoned outside a church in Moberly that same day.
The news of Kayla's death this morning comes just hours after authorities charged 3 people in connection to Huff's disappearance. Kayla has been missing since the morning of May 6th. Probable cause statements say a person was kidnapped, beaten, shot, and dumped in the woods. The name is redacted in the documents, but Lunsford confirmed the connection to KOMU 8 News. April says the case has left the community thinking about the Huff family and about how something like this could happen so close to home. At this time, any possible motive for the alleged assault has not been made public.
The day after, on May 14th, Julian Mason was also arrested.
Kayla Huff's body was located in a wooded area in the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area last night around 8 p.m. Authorities say her body was discovered by a civilian who lives in Randolph County. And we've also learned, along with the 3 suspects charged in the case yesterday, a 4th suspect has also been named. That's 26-year-old Julian Mason of Moberly, and he was charged this morning with tampering with evidence in a felony prosecution.
As investigators continued questioning those involved, the case became even stronger.
Court documents say Mason told investigators the group kidnapped Huff and took her to the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area in the trunk of a vehicle. Investigators say that is where Huff was beaten and shot.
According to court documents, Elena Mason told investigators that she, with the help of suspects Hunter Ames and Christopher Hall, had taken Kayla Huff to the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area in Randolph County. Ames told investigators that's where the group shot and killed Kayla Huff.
The probable cause statement says Hunter Ames supplied Christopher Hull and Elena Mason with a pistol to shoot Huff. All 3 individuals are charged with first-degree kidnapping. The documents also say Ames told investigators the other suspects had someone in the trunk of a car and asked him to, quote, take care of it.
Hunter also acknowledged helping Christopher and Julian dispose of the baton, and later directed investigators to the location where it was discarded. Investigators then confronted the 17-year-old. According to investigators, he ultimately confessed, but because he is a minor, the details of his statement have not been publicly released. Christopher Hull also confessed. He admitted to helping Elena sabotage Kayla's vehicle and assisting with the disposal of the baton. The forensic team processed the Impala. While it looked like the group attempted to clean the vehicle, inside they discovered blood splatter, particles from the baton, and the funnel they used to put the motor oil in Kayla's gas tank. Prosecutors stated that after Kayla was abducted, she was then driven approximately 15 miles south to the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area, where she was beaten with a baton before being fatally shot. Although each suspect played a different role, prosecutors contend they all took part in carrying out the plan that ultimately led to Kayla's death. As of the making of this video, the legal process is still unfolding. All of the adult suspects are currently being held at the Rudolph County Jail, while the 17-year-old suspect is in custody at the county's Juvenile Detention Center. No details about his identity or charges have been released. The loss of Kayla changed the family, touched an entire community, and left countless people struggling to understand how someone so young and so full of life could be taken so soon. A vibrant young lady whose faith and kindness left a lasting impression. Kayla had a bright future full of endless possibilities, yet her life was tragically cut short by the betrayal of someone she knew, someone she trusted. A scholarship has been established in Kayla's honor, ensuring that her name will continue to inspire future generations. The church she attended created a memorial garden in her memory. Her family is also partnering with the Safe Passage organization to help educate young people about the warning signs of violence while dating, hoping that by sharing Kayla's story, others may gain knowledge and the support they need. No story should be forgotten, no voice should go unheard. Sending my deepest condolences and prayers to the family and friends. I pray you get the justice you deserve. May Kayla Rose Huff rest in peace. Until the next time, I'm Lock Jewel, and thank you for watching Shades of Crime. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to pray. God's listening.